نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم أما بعد قال الله تبارك وتعالى في القرآن المجيد فمن كان يرجو لقاء ربه فليعمل عملا صالحا ولا يشرك بعبادة ربه أحدا وقال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم إنما الأعمال بالنيات وإنما لكل امرئ ما نوى وقال عليه الصلاة والسلام إن الله لا ينظر إلى صوركم وأموالكم ولكن ينظر إلى قلوبكم وأعمالكم أو كما قال عليه الصلاة والسلام صدق الله العظيم سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي رب زدني علما واذكر ربك إذا نسيت إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وبارك وسلم. Respected brothers and elders and mothers and sisters, it is a great blessing by Allah SWT that Allah has given us the tawfiq and the ability to come to the house of Allah. We all come for the tawfiq and the ability from Allah. وَمَا تَوْفِيقِ إِلَّا بِاللَّهِ. None of us can come with our own will except Allah SWT makes us come. And Allah SWT has made us come to the house of Allah. Where Rasulullah SAW has mentioned, أَحَبُّ الْبِلَادِ إِلَى اللَّهِ مَسَاجِدُهَا. On this place on earth, the best place is the masajid. So Allah SWT has given us the tawfiq to come to His house. And He's given the tawfiq to come to the best place on earth. Then further to this, Allah SWT has made us sit in such a gathering which is the best of gathering. Why is this the best gathering? Because the remembrance of Allah SWT takes place and the remembrance of our beloved Prophet Muhammad SAW takes place. So we're sitting in the best place, in the best of gathering. Whenever we have the opportunity, we should try to sit in these gatherings as much as possible. We should try to visit the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as much as possible. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives all the tawfiq. Ameen. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam has mentioned in hadith to the nearest effect, he has mentioned إِنَّمَا الْعَمَالُ بِالنِّيَّاتِ, that our amal that we do, our action that we do, it all depends on our intention. If our intention is right, my brothers and elders, then this amal that we do, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will accept. If our intention is right, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will accept this amal. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give us the reward for this. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will also become pleased with us. So any action that we do is very, very important that we ask ourselves, why am I doing this action? Is it for human fame or is it to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? So Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam in this hadith mentioned that إِنَّمَا الْأَعْمَالُ بِالنِّيَّاتِ, the actions are dependent on our intention. If our intention is correct, inshallah Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will reward us for this. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he mentions a hadith, he reported in Bukhari Sharif and Muslim Sharif, that once 3 people were traveling. Whilst they were traveling, the weather changed and the thunder, to a nearest effect, the weather changed. And for this reason, they decided for some time to take refuge in a cave. They went in the cave. Whilst going in the cave, after inside the cave, from the cave, a rock fell down and discovered the mouth and the door of the cave. Now it became very difficult for these 3 people to leave this cave now. So among them these 3 people decided to do mashwara. They talked to each other, how can we save ourselves from this? One day or another we need to leave from here. So they decided to do mashwara. Then they thought of, one of them said, think of something that we did for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and do dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Inshallah Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we are hoping Allah that Allah will help us. So among them the first brother did dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and he said, oh Allah, I had parents that were at old age. My daily habit was when I finished work, I would go to my parents, I would feed them milk, then my children. This was my daily habit. One day, oh Allah, what happened? I finished work late. By the time I got to my parents, they were sleeping. So I couldn't feed them the milk. On one hand, my children were crying because of hunger, and on the other hand my parents were sleeping. So I thought I can't wake my parents up, I can't disrupt them, let them sleep. So I let them sleep. I did not feed my children. When my parents woke up, I give them milk, then I give the milk to my children. Oh Allah, this amal that I did, this khidmat service that I did to my parents, if I did it for your pleasure, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, help us in this difficulty. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam mentioned that this rock moved away, but it was not enough for them to go through. The second brother did dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam mentioned that this person said, oh Allah, I had immense love for one of my cousins. To this effect, I wanted to commit a guna. So I even asked her regarding this guna. She refused. Then came a time of famine where she was desperate in need of money. She came to me and she asked me for money. I said, yes, I will give you the money, but you need to commit this guna. Because of the time of famine, she accepted this. She accepted and she said, okay. Now Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentioned that the person, when he went to commit this guna, at this time this woman said, fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, don't commit this guna. Don't make Allah ta'ala naraz, don't commit this guna. This person says, I did not commit this guna, and let her go, I give her the money as well. Oh Allah, this fear of you and saving myself from this guna, from this sin. Oh Allah, if I did this for your sake, help us in this difficulty. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam mentioned that the rock moved a bit more, but it was not enough for the three brothers to go through. The third person did dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and he said, oh Allah, I had a business, people were working for me. Before I give the wage to one of my workers, he left. So in that wage I invested in my business increased, I had more animals. After a long time he came back to me and he said to me, give me my wage. So I said to him, wherever you see in front, this is your wage, take it. This person said, don't joke with me, give me my wage. So I replied, oh, this is your wage. So he took his wage. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, this trustworthy that I have, if I did it for your sake, Allah help us in this difficulty. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam mentioned that this rock moved again and it was enough for them to go through. From this hadith, brothers and elders, mothers and sisters, we can learn many lessons. The first lesson that we can learn is that the importance of doing khidmat of our parents. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions in the Quran, وَقَضَى رَبُّكَ أَلَّا تَعْبُدُوا إِلَّا إِيَّاهُ وَبِالْوَالِدَيْنِ إِحْسَانًا. That Allah has decreed, after worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, no one should be worshipped apart from Allah, وَبِالْوَالِدَيْنِ إِحْسَانًا, and be dutiful to our parents. So if us, our parents at the old age, this is our golden opportunity to do service of them, to do khidmat of them. Ask those brothers that have got the mothers and fathers that have left the world, ask them how much they miss their parents. Our duty is to do khidmat of our parents. By doing khidmat of our parents, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will reward us, and inshallah when we grow older, so on do khidmat for us. By doing khidmat of our parents, we are fulfilling the rights of our parents. So here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, one lesson we can learn is doing khidmat of our parents. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam has mentioned, Rizal Rabbi fi Rizal Walidi, that our parents are happy with us, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is our parents are happy with us. If our parents are upset, naraz with us, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is naraz with us. So one lesson we can take from today is doing khidmat of our parents. Here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَقَضَى رَبُّكَ أَلَّا تَعْبُدُوا إِلَّا إِيَّاهُ وَبِالْوَالِدَيْنِ إِحْسَانًا. Even when they go to an older age, even at that time, don't say word of hard, don't say things of rude to them, don't say word of harshness to them. وَقُلْ لَهُمَا, don't even say وَلَا تَقُلْ لَهُمَا أُفْ, don't use the word uf to them. وَقُلْ لَهُمَا قَوْلًا كَرِيمًا, use nice words to them. And then when they get older, always in our dua, do regular dua for them. رَبِّ ارْحَمْهُمَا كَمَا رَبَّيَانِ صَغِيرًا رَبِّ ارْحَمْهُمَا كَمَا رَبَّيَانِ صَغِيرًا. Should dua for our parents, do Allah have mercy on them, like how they had mercy upon when I was young. So one message we can take from here is the importance of doing khidmat, giving service to our parents, looking after our parents, not arguing with them, talking to them with respect, not raising our voice. Secondly, we learn from here the fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, creating taqwa in our life, creating piety in our life. Like this person, he saved himself from a guna, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala helped him. Allah ta'ala helped him in his difficulty. Like is mentioned in the Quran, وَمَن يَتَّقِ اللَّهَ يَجْعَلْ لَهُ مَخْرَجًا. A person who has the fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will open the doors for him. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will make it easy for him. And then thirdly, from this hadith we learn the importance of trustworthy. And if someone gives us something, it is important that we look after it. We take care of it. It's our responsibility. Again, this brother had a responsibility. He looked after this. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala helped him in his difficulty. So 3 lessons we can learn from this hadith. The importance of parents, the importance of taqwa, fearing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and being honest in our dealings, in our talking, in our daily life, being honest. Further to this, Imam Nawawi rahmatullahi alayhi in Riyadh al-Salihin, he mentions this hadith in the topic of sincerity, ikhlas. That anything that we do, we should do it for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. These 3 people, they did an amal, an action for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When we do an action for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we do it to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will help us. And if our action, if our intention is wrong, if we're doing it for name and fame, if we're doing it so that people praise us, if we're doing it to show off, then this amal will not be accepted. Further to this, at times it could be a means of punishment for us. For example, in hadith, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam has mentioned that on the day of Qiyamah, a qari, a person who taught the Quran, who learned the Quran and taught it to others, he'll come in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to the nearest effect. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will question him, what did you do in your life? He'll reply to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I taught the Quran, I learned the Quran, I taught the Quran to others. Now teaching the Quran is one of the best actions that me and you can do. خَيْرُكُمْ مَنْ تَعَلَّمَ الْقُرْآنَ وَعَلَّمَهُ. That the best among you is he who teaches the Quran, who learns the Quran and teaches it to others. Now here, he said to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I taught the Quran. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the all-knowing. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala replied to him and said, no, you did not teach the Quran for my sake. You did it for name and fame. The people say, such a great teacher, such a great reciter. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will say to the angels, go and throw him into Jahannam. Allah save us all, Ameen. This is the effect of having a wrong intention. Zahiran, outwardly he was teaching the Quran, but because his heart wasn't clear, his heart wasn't clean, he didn't have sincerity, he did not do it for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, this amal has become a means of punishment. Another brother will come in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He will be that person who gives sadaqah, who gives in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah will ask him the same question, what did you do in your life? So he will reply, oh Allah, I give and I give in your path. I give and I give in your path. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, no, you give it so that people say, look how nice you are, look how generous you are. You did it for name and fame again. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will say to the angels, go and throw him into Jahannam. Again, amal zahiran, his intent, he give in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So much reward in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But because of his intention wrong, he's not going to be accepted. A third person will be a person who fought in the path of Allah. He went in jihad. He fought and fought in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He will come in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah ta'ala will ask him, what did you do in your life? So he'll say, I fought in your path. I fought in your path. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala again will say, no. You did it so people call you a strong person. People will call you a bahadur. You did it for name and fame. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will say, throw him into Jahannam. 3 people, zahir and outwardly their action seemed right, seemed good, seemed malicious, seemed so rewardable. But because of their intention wrong, it's not become a means of reward, it's not become a means of their salvation, but it become a means, in fact it's become a means of their punishment. So our intention is very, very important. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, which mentioned the hadith I mentioned, he said, innamal amalu binniyat. That our amal that we do, any action that we do, maybe praying Quran, maybe giving nasihat, giving a bayan, maybe giving azan, maybe teaching the Quran, maybe giving sadaqah, anything that we do, maybe doing khidmat in the masjid. Why are we doing this? Is it to get name and fame? Is it to show people, why am I doing this? It should be for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, only for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will become pleased, and then only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will reward us. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam in another hadith he mentioned, Inna Allah la yanzuru ila suwarikum wa amwalikum. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not look at our forms. Allah ta'ala does not look at our wealth. Walaki yanzuru ila qulubikum wa amalikum. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala looks at our heart. How purified, how clean is our heart. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala looks at our amal, our good deeds, how many deeds have we done. This is why this is important. That anything that we do it for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. My intention you do not know. Your intention you will know. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows what's in our heart. وَلَا اللَّهُ يَعْلَمُ مَا فِي قُلُوبِكُمْ. Allah ta'ala knows what's in our heart. Once Hazrat Ali radiallahu ta'ala an, once he was fighting another person. Hazrat Ali radiallahu ta'ala an, he overpowered him. He fought and he overpowered him. He was on top of this person. He was about to finish him off. At that time, this person that was on the floor, he spat on his face. But Ali radiallahu ta'ala an, instead of finishing him off, he let him go. But Ali radiallahu ta'ala an, let him go. So this person was astonished, amazed, why did you let me go? I spat on your face. But Ali radiallahu ta'ala replied that initially I was fighting for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Once you spat on me, my intention changed. It was not for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Thus for this reason I have let you go. On seeing this person was shocked and astonished at the sincerity of Hazrat Ali radiallahu ta'ala, and more to this, the sincerity of Islam, how Islam tells us the importance of creating ikhlas. If ikhlas is in our life, if doing any action is in our life, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will accept this. The hadith I mentioned, إِنَّمَا الْأَعْمَالُ بِالنِّيَّاتِ. Any amal that we do, we need to check this at the beginning. Anything that we do, what am I doing it for? In the middle of the action, ask again, what am I doing this for? And right at the end, who did I do it for? If our intention changes, ask forgiveness from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And ask forgiveness from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and ask Allah to rectify our intention. So how can we create good intention? Number one, check our amal, check our intention at the beginning, in the middle, and at the end. Number two, do dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Ask from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, beg in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that Allah give me ikhlas, give me sincerity in my amal. Any amal that I do, Allah ta'ala, make me do it for your sake. Make me do it for your sake. Make me do it for your sake. Make me do it so that you become happy. And then the third way we can create ikhlas is staying in the company of the pious, staying in good company, staying in company of those that have got ikhlas. By staying in their company, inshallah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we'll put this into our hearts as well. So I pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He gives us the tawfiq, the ability to create ikhlas in our life. I pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He gives us the tawfiq and the ability to do good actions. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us the tawfiq to act upon what Muhammad said. Ameen wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.